listener, I used to have this bias, a very terrible bias, that people with a certain accent sound more intelligent. It's an audio bias, it's an oral bias. I have equated, because of conditioning and everything, I've equated accent with intelligence. Some accents are harder to understand for the ear, but it's a muscle you train. But when I won that civic award from the mayor, English is a lingua franca in most city schools. And in some spaces, English might be a second language, where the lingua franca would be the local language. Lingua franca meaning the medium of instruction.
Oh.
Right? So
I want to speak a little bit about the representation and the media impact, right? You recently secured funding for food-focused documentaries. I've seen that.
yes.
I saw it. What stories do you hope to tell through the lens of food?
Okay. So you'd appreciate this a lot. So we are minority people, members of the minority community based on culture. And we live in different countries. So some countries are better than others, where we can have access to Indian ingredients, cook dal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some places you can get everything in the local supermarket. Some places you'll have to go to the ethnic store.
Sure.
Right?
Yep.
And similarly, for example, Italians in Cork, there is a shop that does Italian products. So if you are someone who's from Italy, Sicily, wherever, Milan,
Yeah.
depending on which part of Italy you are, and you're looking for a particular wine or a cheese or something, you go to this beautiful shop and you tell the person, this is what I'm looking for.
So the food.
You'd appreciate the fact that you want to make something that's comfort sabzi.
Yeah.
Any vegetable. A weird vegetable. Like my craving is always this. I don't even know what the vegetable is in English, and all my friends know I love this vegetable, Tendli. In Marathi, we say.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a small green one. It looks like a cucumber. So they don't really sell that in Ireland yet.
Did you say Marathi? You said Tendli?
Yeah, it's in Marathi, right?
It's not Tondli?
Okay, Tondli, Tendli, whichever.
My mom will be very proud to hear that I actually said that.
See, this is the thing. See, the same vegetable, there's so many names. Love it. Yes. And I think some places there's also the Tinde.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the point is, I love this vegetable. So when I'm craving this, I have to go to the ethnic shop and hope that fresh ones there. And if they're not there, then I'm going back into my corner, missing home. So what is the role of the ethnic food shop in preserving my identity? That is what the documentary is about in one line, 3 lines. But yeah, so that's the latest one that we work on. And I'm really looking forward to it, because my friend, one of my best friends who lives in Brazil, is helping me with it. And so we've been meeting every week online and talking about it. And she's helping me stay on track, firstly. And then she's also looking at how to refine it, and and she'll ask me all the questions because she wants to create her own radio podcast live, start one.
Yeah.
So she's using this as a channel she's using this opportunity to channel her creative process. And then I'm there again to kind of handhold, like, well, yes, that would work, but we're going to stick to this, this way. And which is very interesting to me. A side story is because this friend of mine, when we were in college, when we were all starting to be media professionals, we did a group radio project together. And she was part of this play in college. And she did her best to rope us all in to redo the play from her memory and to do it on radio. So we created, you know how you make folio sounds, like the claps and the thundering sounds and all. So we would do that, and she led it. And for someone like her to say to me, I don't know how can I keep reminding her, you did a radio play when we had nothing. So you got this. So I'm very excited that while capturing the importance of ethnic food shop and talking about cultural identity and all of that, my friend is taking this opportunity to hone her skills in storytelling. And
You know what? In this, like, I have a question.
yes,
A question after question, right? So when you say the Indian vegetable that you really
yes,
love, your favorite, if it is not available, do you think that it's more to do with logistical issues, or is it something that, like an Italian food, is probably okay in Ireland, part of Europe, right at the end? So it's
yes.
very easy, and I think almost
Oh,
every
yeah.
house have a pasta or a passata or certain cheeses, right?
So
But
it's
Indian food, well, Indian vegetables, only Indians will eat it. And then I'm trying to understand, is this more to do with logistical issues that need to be raised? Or is it more to do with that we need equal space, just like in Italian, have access to Italian food? I'm an Indian and I'm not anymore minority, although it is minority, but yeah, I need that.
I think it's both, and I hope to uncover more of the documentary as
Okay.
well. It has to be both and more. It has to be more. It's definitely trade. It's definitely the roots. It's definitely the expense of bringing native ingredients to different parts, and it's also valuing uh, valuing access, that one should facilitate access for all vegetables for all customers, and map out who is coming into the local supermarket and see what all vegetables they get. For example, I got so excited when I saw Bhendi, aka Oakrah, in the local supermarket. And I was just so excited. Origin was Kenya, that too. And I've lived in Kenya, so I was so excited. But it comes seasonally. So, but I was just so excited, and then it was there hiding in the corner, okra from Kenya. It's like, oh my God, take it! And my partner looked at me. What is that? You don't know bhindi? You have not lived, my man. You know. So it is. It's definitely a bit of both. Not bit. It's a lot to do, and understanding. See, I also have an issue with the fact that why should the big supermarket take over and bring these vegetables to us? Because and they can do this because of logistics. They would have the infrastructure in place for it. Let's So this documentary will hope to.
Inclusion in the food industry.
Yeah, it's very important.
I still remember in Sweden we'll have Bhendi just okra just once a week, and then the lady will call every Indian living around like, the Bhendis have come.
Yes.
Do you want to pick it up tomorrow? Else it will be spoiled, side. So
Exactly.
you really have
See,
to.
this is the thing, because we know that the fresh vegetable, he gets the delivery on Thursdays. So by Friday, all the good stuff's gone.
That's true.
So I'm like, how can I get here faster than everybody else? so, so there's that part as well. It's the equivalent of the auntie upstairs has cooked biryani, so I'm going to send it to everybody in the building. It's the same. It's the same. It's kind of the same anyway.
It's a very flexible business concept, right?
Yeah.
They're flexible.
Yeah.
As a journalist and founder, how do you define meaningful representation, and what are the blind spots in Irish media that you noticed?
Meaningful representation can happen when people care about equity. You're in decision making power. When you have decision making power and you care about equity, whether in all spaces, starting at home to corporate offices everywhere, schools and everywhere. Start having the equity mindset, and then the hope is that everybody will be on board for meaningful representation box exercises. So what that actually means to me is that unlearning what I have been seeing and what I have been shown or told that I need to, for example, sit a certain way, sit like a girl, or sit like a man. I don't know why. And men also equally sit like a man. How is this related to equity? In the sense, there cannot be different rules for different on some baseless foundation. Want to sit like so? Okay, you sit however you want. If you want to wear trousers, wear trousers. If your brother can come home at 11, so can you as sister. If you're the older sister or if you're the older sibling, it doesn't mean that you have to be the only person making decisions in the house. It is distributed to everybody. These small things begin at home. The rules, the rules cannot be different. And it should be okay for a girl to dream about things that pushes the status quo. As the parent, how am I going to support to push the status quo? So in the process of her pushing the status quo, what narratives am I unlearning as a parent? So that when I talk to my friends, then when they start judging my parenting or my child, put them in their space or say nothing. 'Cause I don't have to fight every battle. All I care about is making sure my child can have access to what they need to reach where the opportunities, while also ensuring that my dreams are mine and their dreams are theirs, right? So there's so many nuanced things going on there. So if I'm aware that if my daughter wants to pick a profession or even wants to pick a lifestyle that would not be something that her gender, people in her gender are picking, then I should understand that and understand that there will be additional hurdles for her to realize her potential. I'm not just talking about profession, I'm also talking about lifestyle and choices. Whether to live in a collective, whether to live in a commune, whether to live on her own, whether to live with a cat or a dog, whatever her life choices, as long as they are aware and they're doing it consensually, I'm going to be to help them reach that. And I'm aware that these are the challenges that's going to come and how am I going to stand. So you're creating an equitable pathway for the daughter and supporting right from the get-go, so that as the child grows older, they can claim space. Because I've had to claim space, right? Space was not given to me. I had to claim space. I would have to be my own agent and say what I need to say. Now we have the words to put and explain, but not everyone does.
I think it also starts with maybe wearing a sari.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, because I've seen your pictures in every event.
Yeah.
You do wear a sari. That's creating a space. So
creating a space and normalizing choices that just because I have not seen a choice being made, a different type of choice being, doesn't mean that choice is wrong or doesn't make my choice wrong. So everybody has the right to choices and however they want to represent themselves. So me, for example, wearing the sari in every space that I go, it is honestly being done because it's so much. I was explaining this just a few days ago to the tailor, to the ladies at the tailor shop. And they were just looking at me. How can you say it's easier to wear a sari? It is. I don't have to think. If I had to think about a trousers and a top and a steamer hat, sari, I just drape it. I can drape it however I want to. I just get going. So it is because of convenience. And then I realized that in wearing the sari, in all the spaces, I'm normalizing a lot, normalizing different things for different people. And I never thought I would be doing. And so different phases of life, our actions, have different consequences, right? So yeah, so meaningful representation will be achieved when there is an equitable pathway to success, and that success can look like however that success you define or I define. So everybody has the right to have aspirations, to live with success and with joy, and everybody has different hurdles. When we help build access to overcome those hurdles for everybody, then we know we're going to have meaningful representation every.
And is that something missing in the Irish
Of
media?
course it is.
Yeah.
It's missing every, right?
Not just
But
Ireland. Okay.
but then yes, your question to ask me about Irish media, yes, it is very much not there. And it's not there, and what is there is at bare minimum. And I'm not even talking about um looking at I'm not even when you're talking about Irish media, what are you asking me? Are you asking me, are the newsreaders diverse?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The blind spots that you have noticed in the media
Yeah.
there,
So
which probably indeed doesn't represent
yeah.
the diverse.
So it's the way reporting takes. What kind of stereotypes are being kept in place? Where are the who remains oppressed? Who is telling the story? It's unfair, and that's why it's it's extraordinarily important for everyone to do their part of being responsible to hold each other in any room. It's important to get uncomfortable and talk to the person who doesn't look like you or who doesn't sound like you. We can't just keep talking to people who sound exactly like
Yeah.
oneself, right? It's okay if the other person sounds different.
Yeah.
Like, for example, full disclaimer, I used to have this bias, a very terrible bias, that people with a certain accent sound more intelligent. That's awful. But it's an audio bias, it's an oral bias. We equate I have equated, because of conditioning and everything, I've equated accent with intelligence. That is like, what the heck?
Do you know that to a certain level, because of certain accents, you also give them the power to intimidate you?
Yes, which is what?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it works both ways, right? So I think a certain type of an accent has more authority,
Yeah.
which is not sensible. That's not how that by in no way is how the world will spin on its own axis. No. And that's a stereotype we need to break. We need to break in ourselves. So I proactively now, I'm like, okay, I come from a diverse country. I grew up in a diverse country. And for some reason, because of colonialism, I have all these biases. I have to proactively decolonize the way I listen to things, who I am listening to, what they're saying, and all of that. Yes, of course, some accents are harder to understand for the ear, but it's a muscle. You train. And you get uncomfortable and you train and you become better, and the perspectives I will have are going to be varied, and that is very important.
I think that's also part of our identity. What is wrong with when you hear somebody speaking English, French English? Uh, the person will be very fluent in English and very articulated in his point that he or she is trying to make. But since it is French, it is really kind of the effort. Sometimes I feel like people don't even put in the efforts to maybe carefully just listen. You may just understand everything, right? How do you understand? And I said, it's not that difficult. It's nothing to do with knowing the person for years. It just, you need a little bit of,
Patience.
yeah,
With yourself, actually.
yeah, and give the space to the person so he or she can express and say what they want to say.
Yeah. You've said something very wonderful. Give the space to the person to express what they need to express. That is so important. We're all in such a rush that we forget that we're all human beings and we can't string a sentence very quickly and then it's done. No, we need to allow space for silence and for mistakes and all those little quirky things that come with speaking in different ways. It's a small thing, but it's a huge thing. It's one of the reasons why English is considered to be an intelligent language. It's rubbish. No.
We have quite some expats around, right? And some of them are really fluent in English as the mother tongue. Some are not. Or they will have a very strong this mother tongue influence. You know what is MTI?
Yes, yeah.
But they're fluent.
Yes.
They've studied in English.
Yes.
And I know for the fact that when I started, it was a little shock when I started the podcast. Almost like as if the fluent English speaking, they were looking at me like, oh my God, you're doing so well. Congratulations. It's almost like they didn't expect me to do that.
So it's microaggression.
See that? And it's
I'm
like,
just like, what?
yeah. They didn't expect me to do something like this or pull it off or maybe to go on so long.
Mm-hmm.
That's another thing, right? Doing it.
In English.
Yes. Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah.
What do you want to say to them? Today is your moment. Say something to them. Send them to me. Yeah. So I think in the past, I'd tried to educate the person and be like, I'm sorry. No, we speak English.
Yeah.
Most of us would have been learning English as a second language, or maybe most of us are not. I'll rephrase because I want to be inclusive. English is a lingua franca in most city schools, and in some spaces, English might be a second language, where the lingua franca would be the local language. Lingua franca meaning the medium of instruction.
Oh,
right. So this is how you educate them, and they'll be like, "Oh, really? I didn't know. Why did you not know we were colonized? I'm sorry. What?" Then you can switch your accent to whatever fun accent that you want to switch to, because we can do that, right?
We can absolutely.
Like,
yes.
You do. And then there are days where I don't want to educate, and I just want to be like, "Sorry, I beg your pardon. What did you say? What?" So that they can retrace their step and think about what they just said, and then be like, "Oh no, I don't understand. What?"
Or probably just say like, did you really mean to say what you just said?
I don't understand what you mean. Please, could you explain what you mean? But this is something very interesting. And, some people would say, don't take it too hard. People just don't really know. No, that's a terrible excuse.
Yeah.
I am going to take it to heart. And people do need to understand that this world was colonized. Most countries were colonized. And therefore, people can speak different languages and switch in and out of different languages and possibly even accents. This is something that we do. We just do this.
Do you think like we Indians probably sometimes take, when it comes to accent, we're more sensitive towards it? Do you really think that?
Sensitive in what?
Like if somebody is saying something, oh my God, your accent is not really understandable or not clear enough. I think that sometimes we take it more like personal to these kind of feedbacks and are a bit more sensitive or probably more conscious. Maybe that is the right word.
No.
Yeah.
I don't know.
See, we don't even think of sometimes like
But like which accent? Like if somebody is speaking,
like in a social circle, what I see more and more, you have to come to a point where rolling of R's, plosive sounds, and the curs and the pers, the kissing the W's and
yes, I hear
cutting
what
the
you
V's, right?
I'd say again, it's the colonization of the mind. If one is sensitive to the V's and the W's and all those things, it has to do with how we become sensitive because our mind is by thinking that English is a superior language. Absolutely right, which is not at all. So, so the fact that it's not true at all is the thing we have to teach ourselves.
Mm.
And therefore, if we are being called out on, oh, you didn't say that right. Oh yeah, you try saying, you just throw one word at them. You try saying Bengan. Go on, go on.
That's it. You see,
You try say Bengan. Let's see how you get on with that.
they will just like, oh, forget it, whatever. You know what I'm saying.
No, no,
You
I don't know
understand.
what you're saying. You try saying Bengan, Bengan. You know what I mean? No, no.
This
I
has
think
happened. This has happened
it
so
does.
many times.
Yes, this does happen. You're right. It does happen, and it's that colonial, decolonial tug of war.
You know, in all of this, what I see that we are talking about the identity now, identity, culture, belonging all together.
Yes,
And you've spoken about raising third culture kids, right? I mean, I'm sure
one.
you must have come across a lot of third culture kids.
Yes,
You are raising one.
yes.
How has your son's upbringing shaped your own sense of belonging?
Yeah. So raising him.
Was that like a defining moment that you felt like, like whether it is stepping away or letting go the control of the magazine, or was that part of?
Uh, Maybe a tiny bit, not entirely. So there's two, three things here. So raising a third culture child, we all know it comes with its mixed bag of emotions and challenges. And I'm yet to understand how to navigate it.
Mm.
And then we discuss it. There are a few friends of mine who are raising, have raised, are
Mm.
raising. Some of them have become adults, third culture children. And at the end of the day, each to their own.
Yeah.
What I said earlier about this baggage, this weight, I don't want to carry any of it. I have to do a lot of um, deconditioning as well, and being very honest about the culture that I have been raised in and raised with. And I don't know, considering the kind of person I am, if I can imitate all of that without questioning it. I was raised Catholic. So, and I live in a country that has had its struggles with Catholicism, with the church.
Mm.
Not with Catholicism, but with the Catholic Church.
Mm.
So there's trauma, there's grief, comes to, and I'm South Indian, grew up in Bombay and live there. And there's so many South Indians around me. So I think I've lucked out and I can get the best of both worlds. I could curate it.
That's the right word to say, in fact.
Yeah,
You're
I
right.
can curate it, but I can also curate it. Not I owe it to him to curate it as wholesomely as possible. That is my responsibility. So something small. So I've grown up with using public transport.
Mm.
Even yesterday, day before yesterday, we went to the shopping sport, changed the metro, and jumped over.
Mm.
Went to a capitalist capital, but yet took the public transport. I took a
Right.
small video of him walking in the so-called footpaths and everything, and
Yeah.
like walking past the vada pav wala and all that, and it's interesting. And he's just doing this, he's just going with the flow. And I'm not going to overprotect him from it.
Mm.
I'm going to be like, yes, it's smelly. We're going to close our nose and it's smelly, you know? So that is when it comes to experiencing the city that I have known. So I'm going to do my best so that he gets the experiences that I've had. So that's one thing. The other thing is the language. See, I was raised speaking English,
Mm.
and because of school, I can read and write Hindi and Marathi. Really pushed me. Actually, no, I used to read Marathi also. And but when it comes to speaking the native tongue, I miss out there because my father, he just 90s, 80s, 90s, climbing up the social ladder, he insisted that his children think in English. So we did lose out on things. We didn't lose out entirely, because I can still enjoy movies in my native tongue.
Okay.
So it's not entirely terrible, but I do not have to. I've released myself of the pressure to bring those languages into his life, because I always not thought, I continue to think that he should be able to communicate. If when he travels to India on his own, he should be able to communicate with his grandparents and his cousins. So the lingua franca between them is English. So it's
Okay.
fine. So I kind of I escaped, But he gets Hindi from me.
Okay.
So when he can't when my husband can't find things which are right in front of him, I always say, you batata eyes, the potato eyes, because of the little blips on the potatoes. And I call him batata eyes. And Ethan loves it. He uses it back to me, you batata eyes. Like, I taught him that. It's not about teaching, it's just ensuring that there's some code switching that goes on at home.
Yeah.
So if I bring, and I'll just say, did you pack your dabba? That's it. It's not like lunchbox and pack your dabba, because that's how I was
I
raised.
say
Yeah.
honey.
Yeah, yeah, right. So these small things we kind of keep. I suppose we continue to hold on to them so that we don't get completely lost in the majority culture. It's our way to stay
Yeah.
rooted, and um and then just again normalizing those words for him. So those are the challenges, and
I think he's just what, 7 or 8?
he's 9.
Oh, he's 9. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he's still growing up. I mean, yeah, you have a lot of time to shape. I think it will again evolve.
It will change, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's going to change now that he's going to hit the double digits, become
Yes.
a teenager
Yep.
and a teenager. Oh God, I'm not looking forward to that at all.
Oh, mine is almost there in September. It's gonna be
10.
10. Yeah,
It's hard work.
I know. Yep. What conversations around identity,
Mm.
like race, colorism, or cultural expectations, do you feel are still hard to have openly, whether in Ireland or within the community which is dispersed, from their homeland?
All of those still exist.
Race, colorism,
Yeah, all of them still exist.
cultural expectations that, like one of it that I, from my personal experience, have seen is certain areas where you will find only immigrants living.
Yeah, yeah, but it continues to exist everywhere,
Yeah,
and
those are the
so many of those issues are to begin with the mind. So if we don't let go of it, it's going to continue to exist. I might have let go of it in my mind, but I can be participating in it if somebody else is being hateful towards someone. And if I don't say something, then I'm an accomplice to that. So I have to speak up. And even if we're, ladies socializing and we're saying stuff, I'm going to call out on people if they say something daft. I will. And I have, you know, and we have a long way to go before we, as all of humanity, can start looking at people fully for who they are and be. So colorism is a big one. Continues to be embedded in our systems. It's so heartbreaking and so sad. And it's not just a South Asian or a Southeast Asian thing. It's also across the African diaspora, and it's awful. It's it's and I don't know if it'll be our generation that stops it or the one after ours. I don't know, but I haven't lost hope. I just hope that my hope is that with every passing generation, we give much less importance to to looking at people through those lenses and embracing people for no matter how they look and how they sound, wear, and to also make space for how people think. Can't say, "Oh, you think differently, so I can't be friends with you." You can't do that. You have to keep talking and have conversations. We can't all live in silos of our own thoughts. Like, can't be an in group of we all like one particular type of chai. So we are all cool. Somebody likes chai with cardamom, so they are not cool. No, we can't do that.
We've got now more almond chai.
What is that?
That is a chai. That is a chai. That is almond milk chai. Is yum.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's good. So you bring your almond chai. I will bring my chai
Cardamom.
with cow's milk chai, but then we'll still have cake. And so we can enjoy our chocolate cake while you do your chai and I'll do my chai. See, we can have conversation. Fine, it's fine. I will make fun of it, but it's okay.
I think I'm gonna make you. I have to order an almond chai after
No,
the podcast,
please.
just to prove my point that the almond chai is as yum as the cardamom.
I think
one.
this is me
it's an
being
evolved-
uncomfortable and trying out the almond chai. I'll do it.
It's an evolved chai.
All right, okay, that's fine. I'll take it.
I'm
sold.
But do you know, to this point that you were talking about, the dispersed community away from their homeland, did you notice that we also have a similar thing about race and colorism within India?
Yes, that's what. Yeah.
It's not just Ireland, yeah?
No.
It's also in
It's within
India.
the Indian community, no matter where you live. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So if we grew up in India. I've experienced colorism. Like me, so many have experienced
Me too,
colorism. Yeah. Ageism. Yeah.
Yeah.
And all sorts of isms.
Yeah.
And so then we take the same attitude and just transport it elsewhere.
To maybe a wider space.
Yeah.
Make it bigger.
And then you add other layers of isms to it, and it just becomes. And it leaves generations of women and people, not only women, people affected and impacted by being what not only many people call it as being othered. You are being othered. You are different, so you're othered. Whether you're queer, whether you're darker skinned, or whether you're too thin or too fat, and all those things. You're just being othered. And because people we think that the so-called group will get stronger when all those who are othered are handpicked and thrown out. And then our group will become stronger. No, it won't. You need a variety of people for the group to get stronger. This is called divide and rule, and it is the oldest trick in history.
Yeah.
So to hell with that. We're not doing that anymore. That ends right here.
So the cardamom chai and
Almond chai.
is going to come soon on the
Yes, with coffee cake. No, we can't have chai and coffee. We can have...
I have roti at home.
Oh, I love dipping roti in chai. Oh my God, it's the best thing. Especially if the roti is 1 day old.
I have a fresh one.
No, but I'm just saying.
I know, yeah.
1 day old roti dipped in chai or coffee is so good.
Breakfast.
Stop.
That used to be my breakfast, honestly, like growing up.
Yeah, is it? It's the best thing. It has everything in it.
The protein.
There's everything.
Carbs.
Everything. Yeah. Comfort above all.
Comfort, yes. The word, yes.
You're ready for the day no matter what it throws you because you had that roti and...
And funnily, do you know that when I moved to Belgium, and then there it was that you're not supposed to give your kids caffeine. It's like, the whole my school life, my day was with caffeine.
Yes, because we would be given little.
Okay.
You see? But then in some European cultures, I don't think all European cultures do small cups of coffee. Some do, but other places, they've got a big mug of caffeine. Whereas in India, we got a small, cute little...
But with
tumbler.
Yeah, indeed. It was really tiny.
Yes, so that much is all right, especially when you have so much to study and remember.
Okay. Well, so I don't know. I'm okay with the caffeine, growing up.
That's what I'm saying. Parenting, each to their own. Whatever works, whatever gets the child to meet their aspirations, we're going to do it. Like I don't think why we should judge a whole
I did give,
cultural group for
I
you
know. I did give that to Elias,
Yes,
my son,
yes.
chai and
And what was it
roti.
frowned upon?
No, he loved it.
Yeah. The others were like, what?
Oh, they haven't seen it, but okay, I'm not too sure. Should I even talk
But
about
now
it?
everybody knows.
Now everybody knows. Yeah. Maybe I'll cut that part. I don't know if at all I have to. We're coming to the end of the podcast.
Yay.
Okay.
No.
I know, right?
Yay, nay, I don't know.
No, I think we can go on and on, but I think,
But we won't.
yeah, you're not here.
We'll save it for season 7.
Oh, yeah, but I come down to Cork and then
Yeah.
witness your work on the ground level, really what you're doing.
I love it. We're already talking about the future. Let's come back to the present.
The forward, this is called the forward vision, isn't
Yes,
it?
the future gazing.
Collective forward vision that we just created, curated right now.
Manifested.
Yes, yeah, almost also, yeah. What's your hope for the next generation of storytellers, especially from those underrepresented communities?
My hope for storytelling is, first of all, there are no unrepresented communities. Everyone's represented. So this term wouldn't exist. That's my hope. And within that, my hope for the stories coming from the future is that they continue to be about hope and love and softness. And for that to happen, this is what I really hope, that every person wants to tell their story, wants to gather people, hear the story, will step into their space and claim the space without having the fear of being hated on. You know? So yeah.
And do you expect the same thing from young generation as well?
Only they are going to save us.
That's true. At the way evolving, I wonder, what you hope for and the way they are being raised and experiencing things. I'm not saying, hey, it's hope. At the end of the day, we can just hope for it.
No, I hear what you're saying. It's very hard to manifest what I just said, but we have to. And I say it knowing that the world as we speak here in the comfort of your home, of your studio in the home, is that the world is all upside down, has been upside down. And it is a wave. And many thinkers, many thought leaders will always, I've noticed, will always say this, that it is a wave, it is going to pass, and the earth will keep spinning, and those who destroy her will get destroyed, but the earth will keep spinning. So we might have to sacrifice ourselves for the hope and the softness to continue. You know what I mean? And while the world is where it's at, there are still so many people, all irrespective of age, irrespective of privilege, who are aware how important it is to be kind to each other. It may not feel like they are in the majority, that we are in the majority, but it is a fact that people who are kind to each other are in large numbers.
Yeah.
And in the most in the spaces that you're not going to think of even, and they are the ones who have an impact on the people around them. And the young people in those environments are the young people who will grow up to be those very wonderful, sensitive, soft leaders who will know how to use technology to an advantage and ensure that we don't become slaves of technology. That is truly, truly my hope. The artists, the dancers, the poets, the theater makers, the jokesters, the debaters, the media makers. They are all the people who are going to do things. They're going to inspire state leaders, and they're going to inspire each other. And we're going to make it. It doesn't feel like it, but yeah.
But that's a lot of manifesting that you've just said. And
It is powerful because I'm not the only one manifesting.
that's also a good one.
And I think it's full moon or new moon today.
Is it?
Yeah. Or was it yesterday? Anyway, we're in that amazing energy. Yeah. I believe in that. I love the Queen Moon. So I think she really holds us really well.
Is that the reason why you give me this day for recording?
I don't think so. It just happened. See, this is what I mean. She controls us in magical, mysterious ways.
One last emotional, sentimental, question. If your son were to listen to this episode one day,
right,
what would you want him to remember about your journey? But okay, right now you're given the opportunity. Maybe, I don't know, in 5 years down the line, he will look at this video.
I always say to him, you do you. And you should be proud of yourself. You shouldn't have, even today actually I said it, you shouldn't have to wait for me to validate you. You are you. You're proud of yourself. You exist, therefore you're proud of yourself. Finished. End of discussion. That's it. And I just hope he never forgets that. This whole thing about, we want validation. No, to hell with that. And he's a boy, right? So I'm aware that telling a boy this can have all sorts of impact. Because, men always anyway think they are the center of the universe. So I don't want. So when I say this, there is a caveat. The caveat is that just like how you are proud of yourself, others are also proud of themselves. And that's important. It's not just, the world is not about you.
Yeah.
So I do say that to him, even on Christmas Day, when there's like 100 presents thrown at his feet. And this is not all about you, It's not about you. You're not the center of the universe. And he's like, well, it is about me. No, it's not. It's about that boy and that girl and that person. So, yeah, as much as...
I'm sure, like, when you are also bringing him to India, that itself is also sharing your part of the journey. In a different way, of course, not the way...
Yeah, it is. I think it's important for him to see me from a different perspective, from a different lens, and to see me more than his mom. We didn't talk about it, but when I won that civic award from the mayor.
We missed that part.
Yeah.
This is something that, so she received an award from the civic mayor, right?
I received a civic award from the Mayor of Cork, and I was one of 6 people who received it.
Congratulations for that.
Thank you. And the award was for contribution for it's a long sentence, but it's about facilitating cultural expression amongst migrant communities.
Beautiful.
So this whole thing about narratives and data. And for me, the award, it's great. It's great. Yes, my name is on it, but what it is, it honors the sacrifices that my family have had to make. And by sacrifice, I mean the weekends where I wouldn't have been with them. The many afternoons where I would have told my son, leave me alone, I need to finish this. So, he has had to share me with so many people.
Yeah.
And yes, it could be the truth for many children. But not everybody gets an opportunity to honor the child for being willing to share their parent with everyone else.
Yeah.
So I told Ethan, this award is yours. So then he's like, can I take it to school? Maybe later.
Was it a trophy or was it like a medal?
There is a medal and there's a certificate as well. So he wanted to take the big certificate to school. I was like, I don't know about that, but the medal is yours. You can have it. And so it's about honoring him. It's about honoring all the people who've helped helped me, all my comrades. I call them comrades. So all of them. And yes, and yes, there is that baggage again. There is this woman who looks the way she looks, and now is the time where it's okay to see this person in with the focus light on them, which means that it makes it normal for all other minority women and people to be okay to claim space in community.
I think that's beautiful. And if it starts with one person and when they see one representing it, then I think it's very easier for the others. Let me try and see how I feel.
Yeah.
And to be able to do that, you need a lot of courage to create that space. So it doesn't just come one of the incident that you kind of come across and okay, now I have a feeling that okay, I can run this magazine or create a space like that. I think you have said it very effortlessly, but it does sound something that difficult has been difficult. Yeah, but congratulations for the award, and son is going to be very happy watching this one. The only thing probably he'll say like, wasn't that a too long episode?
Yeah. And he'd be like, I'm not surprised, Mom.
I'm really happy that you gave this day so that we can have this conversation. You came all the way from Mumbai, down, didn't drive, but okay, you know what I'm saying.
I traveled.
Yeah, you traveled. And it has been really a pleasure and also an honor that you brought your little space, not your space, your space into my little space.
All spaces are equal.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, you see? Okay, beautifully said again. And then we could really create this conversation, manifestation happened here. We made the fusion of the chais here. We spoke a lot about your sari, not a lot. We spoke about your sari, the inclusion, the representation of all the identities. And I'm sure a lot of people watching this will be happy that okay, I got a perfect Indian
Please,
guest
too much
as a
baggage.
first. And thank you for that. Really, really thank you. I really had a great time. Anything else that you want to maybe add to this?
No, you're most welcome. It was a joy. And I wish you all the best. I love to see more and more women making media that matters to them and to the communities they want to support. So I wish you every success and thank you.
Thank you.
Now let's go have chai.
All right. On that note, thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll get back to you with the next episode, with the next story, with the next another special guest. Till then, thank you. See you. Bye.